وَلَقَدْ أَرَيْنَاهُ آيَاتِنَا كُلَّهَا فَكَذَّبَ وَأَبَى قَالَ أَجِئْتَنَا لِتُخْرِجَنَا مِنْ أَرْضِنَا بِسِحْرِكَ يَا مُوسَى فَلَنَأْتِيَنَّكَ بِسِحْرٍ مِثْلِهِ فَاجْعَلْ بَيْنَنَا.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
Have you
salam.
seen Facebook?
Yes.
There have been false statements about me by Dr. Ramasamy.
I
I've
see.
been accused of something I'm not.
I see.
What should I do?
We'll be having a meeting with our other associates.
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. So our civil proceeding should be initiated under defamation. Okay, so what is defamation? Defamation, according to Rama Ali in the case of Rob Australian, defined defamation as is committed when the defendant publishes to a third person where it contains matters that are untrue imputation against the plaintiff. So defamation can be split into two. The first one is libel and the second one is slander. Libel is basically when it's published in a permanent form, and libel is when it's published in a temporary form by using gestures or just speaking generally. So there are three elements. So the first element is that there has to be defamatory words. So the test that will be used is the right-thinking member of the society. This can be seen in the case of Syed Hussein Ali versus Syarikat Panchayatan. So natural ordinary meaning as in like the word, we interpret it as the way it is. This can be seen in the case of Dato Fu Ming Lam and another versus Wen Mang Chi. In this case, a defendant who is a public figure posted statements on Facebook. And then the court held that the words spoken by the defendant were understood by the average viewer to be harmful to the reputation. So it was held that there was defamation in this case. The other one is false innuendo. So basically it's when it's referring to the plaintiff in an implying manner. The other one is true innuendo, where it basically means that you're using external factors to attack the plaintiff. And then the other one is juxtaposition. So when they're equating you with something that is contrasting, that is juxtaposition. So these are the categories under the first element. So in your scenario, it is more related to the first, which is natural and ordinary meaning. Okay, so when we look at your scenario, doctor, we can see that there were false statements made about you. The first one, he referred to you as Satan on Facebook. The second one, he said, is Malaysia harboring alleged fugitive Dr. Zakir Naik on an article? And then the third one, he said, Naik should not question the loyalty of Hindus in Malaysia in an article. And then the last one, he said, the AP leader, he accused you of faking Tamil Tiger's revival in an interview. So in your situation, applying the natural and ordinary meaning, for example, Satan. Satan naturally means is a bad person. So right-thinking member of the society will look down on you when hearing that statement. So there's no doubt that the element of defamatory statement is fulfilled.
So macam ni lah, doctor. The second element that has to be proven is that the words have to refer to the plaintiff. So it's not sufficient to only prove the defamatory statements, but the statements has to be clearly referenced to the plaintiff. So this can be seen in a variety of cases. In one case of Sujendram, anak lelaki Gunasegaran, it was held that because the words were published along with a photograph of the plaintiff, it was noted that it was referring to the plaintiff. In Umi Hafilda v Karangkraf, the courts held that the person could understand that the article was about the plaintiff, and this was already sufficient. So I was looking through your case, doctor, and it seems to be pretty clear. Defamatory words used by Ramasamy was clearly referencing you in the article, in the Facebook post, and in the interview. Therefore, I believe that the second element should be established in your case, doctor.
So now that we've established two of the elements under defamation, the final element that needs to be fulfilled in order for a claim under defamation to be successful is that the defamatory words or statement needs to be published. Publication here means that the communication of words to at least one person other than the person defamed. It may be in words, or it can be in writing, or it can be both. So for instance, we can take a look in the case of Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim in 2014, whereby the defamatory statement stating that video sex Anwar Ibrahim dan gay tersebar were published on a website, and it was held by the court that online defamatory statement or content published on the internet amounts to publication. So in your case, doctor, it's pretty straightforward, and it's a pretty clear-cut fact that the statement made by Ramasamy was posted on Facebook, posted in an article, and even he said untrue things about you in a video interview which was published. So technically, all of this amounts to publication, doctor, and it fulfills all the elements in order for you to bring an action on the grounds of defamation.
So what are the chances of us winning this case?
So, Doctor, I think we have a really strong claim for defamation. However, in law, there is never a 100% guarantee of us winning the case, as Ramasamy could come up with any one of the defenses for defamation. In defamation, there are multiple defenses that could be made. Number 1, justification. Number 2, fair comment. Number 3, qualified and absolute privilege. And number 4, the defense of apology. Now, the defenses that we would be focusing on and most likely to come up is justification and fair comment. So justification is the full defense concerning defamation, and it is essentially the defense of arguing that the words of the defamatory statements made were true. Have you heard of the Lucas Box justification? So in the case of Lucas Box, in his defamation pleading, it was held that the defendant may rely on stating in his defense what he alleged was a natural and ordinary meaning of the defamatory words used. The defendant must state clearly and explicitly the meanings behind the words that he used. Essentially, they're trying to justify that they didn't mean what they said. And Ramasamy is most likely going to bring up this defense. So this defense was explained in Section 8 of the Defamation Act 1957.
So another defense that can be brought by Ramasamy is fair comment. Fair comment essentially refers to words that consist partly facts and partly comments, technically a mere expression of opinion. Fair comment can be further elaborated in Section 9 of the Defamation Act. However, in order for this defense to be successful, Ramasamy must prove 4 things. First one is the words must be in the form of comment, it must be based on true fact, it must be fair and not malicious, and it concerns of public interest. Thus, in your case, Doctor, it can be seen that this defense shall not succeed as the statements made by Ramasamy was not true and it is followed by malicious intent. So, Doctor, you want to proceed with the legal action? The plaintiff here has satisfied 3 essential elements of defamation, and Ramasamy's statements were undoubtedly defamatory and actuated by malice and anger towards Dr. Zakir Naik. Therefore, the plaintiff's claim is allowed, and a total of 1.4 million ringgit shall be paid by the defendant for defaming the controversial preacher, Dr. Zakir Naik. So, is there anything that the plaintiff would like to add?
Brother asked a very good question.